it's about that time of year again where I am really manifesting a lot of new goals and new dreams that I want to take place in this next year. Make a vision board every single year, and I actually achieve majority of the things on my vision board because I have taken it so seriously that it's almost impossible for me to not achieve the things on it. My vision board kind of acts as like my resolutions, my goals, my dreams, anything that kind of falls under that umbrella, and I find that my approach has really allowed me to not only achieve my dreams, aspirations, goals, and manifestations soon, but it also makes me feel like I've actually been doing something rather than just constantly looking at everything in the distance. Everything just seems more obtainable sooner, and I want to share with you guys how I do that. So if you guys want to know how to manifest your dreams, goals, aspirations, and everything that you ever want out of life, you can literally have whatever you want with my entire routine. Make sure that you give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe down below, and comment what your 2021 resolutions or visions are this year. All right, let's get into the video. So I want to be clear that I do not do vision boards with paper cutouts or any of that. I make virtual vision boards. And the reason why is because I used to make cardboard cutout vision boards, and I used to get so used to looking at them every day that they were no longer my excited dreams and manifestations. It was just like, oh, this is just a part of like the decor of the room it's in. All right, so let's talk about the vision boards that I use and kind of how I like to see what I want in the next year. So I do literally 3 different things. The first thing that I do is I go on Pinterest and I look at inspirational photos. It could be literally anything. It could be clothes, it could be homes, it could be dogs, it could be apartments, it could be furniture, it could literally be anything. And I make sure that I save them to my own private. Yes, Pinterest actually has a private tab, and I will save them to that tab so that I can just kind of see everything visually. And I will make sure that I grab the best of the best photos. My second vision board is the saved tabs on Instagram. So you know how you can like save a photo? I will literally save it to an entire album dedicated to anything that I want it to be, whether it's IG feed, home inspiration, life inspiration, and just kind of look through those throughout the week. I honestly look through my saved tabs often, and this is why I like to create a virtual space for vision boards, because I actually like to go through it. And every time I go on Pinterest, it's to find inspo. So I'm already kind of going into it looking for something, and it's always good to have something waiting for you when you open the app. And the last thing that I do is I make sure that I get a good journal, and I journal down month to month what I want to achieve. So I do it by a month to month basis, because I do think that if you say, I want to achieve my fitness goals for 2021, and you're saying you don't care when it's achieved, you just want it to be done by 2021, you're going to drag your feet because you're giving yourself too much time. If you say, I want to lose 5 pounds in January, that's giving yourself a goal. Or I want to make sure that I buy a new piece of furniture for my apartment by February. Things like that will kind of set the tone for each month, and it will allow you to really achieve things a lot quicker, which is what I've been doing. Okay, so let's talk about the 3 things that I manifest every single year when I do a resolutions list or a vision board. I really want to make sure that I cover all my bases. So the first thing that I write down are anything that I want to achieve in the year itself. Whatever I want to do. Let's just say I want to buy a new car this year. I have to make sure that that is at the top priority list. Those are things that are going to be done a lot quicker, that you're going to be saving up for more, that you're going to be trying to actively do every day to make sure you achieve it faster. These are those things. The second way that I manifest things in the year, every single year, is I find things that I want to achieve in the next upcoming years, but I have to work for them now. So let's just say I want to buy a house in 2023. Well, today I need to start saving for that house. So that is a whole nother list of manifestations. Things that I want to achieve in the year itself, things I want to achieve in the next upcoming years, but I have to save for it now. And the last things that I manifest are things in the near future that I want to make sure I have an inspo pick for. So if I want to get a G-Wagon by 30 years old, I will keep that on my vision board to remind myself this is what you're working for, this is what you're doing. It's just something that you want to have as looking forward to the future. You shouldn't have everything that you want right now because you would have nothing to look forward to. So I think that compartmentalizing them into different sections will allow you to look forward to different parts of your life. You can look forward to things this year, you can look forward to things for next year and the year after, and then you can look forward for things in 10 years. So that's kind of how I like to do my vision boards. Okay, so I wanna go over all of the things that I achieved in 2020, how I achieved them, because I wanna help you guys out and create a vision board that actually works. I honestly used to be the girl who would start off the year really strong. I would be really excited about my ideas, my manifestations, anything that was on my vision board, and then by like March, I was already over it. So I'm gonna share with you guys my realistic goals, goals that maybe aren't as realistic, but I still achieved, and hopefully you guys can get some inspo from that. A part of my 2019 goal list was to get an apartment, and I wanted to get this by 2020. So remember when I talked about the 3 things that I manifest? It was the things I wanted the year itself, the things I wanted for the next year, and the things that I wanted in 10 years. On my 2019 list, the thing that I wanted to achieve in the next year was to get an apartment, so I worked towards that goal all year. And I moved into my apartment on January 14th, right in the beginning of the year. But essentially what I want you guys to gather from this particular step is you want to really work towards a goal. And by this, nothing is going to just happen overnight. You're not gonna wake up and all of your goals and manifestations and dreams are just gonna appear in your lap, but it will feel like they did when they get there, which is amazing. I would go to apartment complexes, I would, tour different places, and I wanted to know, not only that I wanted to move out, but I wanted to know where I wanted to move, how I wanted to move, and when. And this is very important in your manifestations. You don't wanna just do a broad manifestation when you are trying to achieve things quickly. You want to actually set a time. You wanna make sure you know exactly what you want to a T. Last year, Alex and I decided we wanna move out in 2020. So we started taking initiatives and really putting forward this into the universe. The first thing we did was we found apartments and toured them. We toured them before we could even afford them because we wanted something to look forward to. If you actually go and see it in person, you're gonna feel like, wow, hold on a second, this is giving me way more power and allowing me to try even harder to get it because now I feel like I have it. You wanna feel like you have something already beforehand so that it allows you to work really hard for it with it feeling actually a lot easier. So we toured apartments, we decided what floor we wanted to be on, and we decided what floor plan we wanted. We were very specific because that is how you obtain goals faster. When you are specific, it means you want it more. And when you want it more, you will work harder for it. So we actually got the floor plan, the floor, and the apartment complex that we wanted to a T. We literally are living the exact dream that we had last year because we put that into the universe. I want you guys to be more specific with your goals. So if you want a new car in this next year, what I want you to do is I want you to pick the car you want. I want you to go to the dealership. I want you to look at it. I want you to price match. I want you to pick the color you want. And this is not because I think that every time you do this is gonna be exactly what you want, but it's going to make you work harder because you actually are feeling like, wait, it's feeling more and more mine. I picked the color I wanted. I picked the model that I wanted. And you're getting so specific that it starts to feel like you own it already. Okay, so the next thing that I wanted that I put on my vision board last year was a puppy. I knew I was gonna be living in my apartment because like I said before, I manifested it for 2020 and I knew it was gonna happen. I didn't want to just say, I want a puppy and whatever happens, happens, because even though that may work for a lot of people, it doesn't work for me. I have to feel like I have it. So what I did was I took the steps that I needed to take to feel like me getting a puppy was more important than just an idea. So I picked the puppy I wanted. When I found my dog Suede, I was obsessed with her, in love with her. Every day leading up to the day we got her, I was counting down the minutes, the hours, and the seconds until she was in my arms because I manifested her. I didn't just want a dog, I wanted her. She was the one I wanted. Not only does making it very specific encourage you to work harder, but it also makes you appreciate it more. When you're just kind of nilly-willy like doing things and you're not really manifesting anything specific, it maybe feels a little wah-wah when you get it. Like sometimes I'll go to a store and I'll end up buying a bunch of things that I didn't need, and I come home and I don't feel that excited because I didn't manifest these things. I didn't dream about these things. They just kind of somehow happened to be in my cart, then in my car, and then in my home. So I want you guys to make sure that whenever you put something on your vision board, that it's exactly what you want. So I knew I wanted a husky, I knew I wanted a girl dog, and I made sure I did everything in my power to get her. And then I got a second one. Okay, so now we have the apartment and we have the dog. The third thing on my list that I put on my vision board that I had on my vision board for probably years, but I made it very well known last year, was furnishing my apartment. I personally enjoy my life better when I have a home environment. So what I did was I saved a bunch of pictures on Pinterest that reminded me of a house that I wanted, and I literally created that entire home in my apartment today. My apartment looks so similar to a lot of the photos that I saved. Most of the furniture pieces in my apartment I manifested. I waited so long for each piece because I knew exactly the vision I wanted to create. A lot of the times you can buy things in hopes it will work out, and I've been one of those people that did that, and it just doesn't work for me personally because I never fall in love with it. I wanted to make sure that every single thing I got for my place I fell in love with, that I truly felt like it represented me, and it has allowed me to appreciate my space so much more because it's the most me space that there is. And it wasn't cheap, but I will tell you that because I was so persistent and I was so needing it, somehow I worked harder at my job, did more things, and made sure that whenever I saw something that I loved, I got it. The place furnished quicker than I actually thought it would. Not everything on my vision board has to do with money or things that you buy. A lot of the times it could be personal growth and self-growth, and I want you guys to take that away from this as well, because when you grow, your life grows, your money grows, your family grows, everything grows. So something that I had on my list last year was embarking on a feminine journey, and surprisingly enough, I'm still doing it at the moment. So it is a 2 to 3 year process, but I wanted to make sure I started it now. So when I first started my feminine journey, I wanted to just do simple things. I found that I was mostly dressing up, getting ready, doing things for something, whether it was for filming or for a date night or for just a holiday. I wanted to make sure that my feminine journey went way more beyond me looking good for something, and it was looking good for myself. So I started taking better care of my hair. I started practicing, different style options for myself where I developed a personal style. I started taking better care of my skin and my body, which I've always been really obsessed with doing that, but I took it to a whole nother level. I made sure I looked for quality people that I can invest in, whether it's a facialist or an injector or anything of that sort, where everything that I did was done right. Just because you're doing something doesn't mean you're doing it right. So embarking on a feminine journey, you could do it so wrong, and I wanted to make sure that I did everything right and the best way that I knew how. I am planning on doing an entire video all about my feminine journey and how to exactly master it. It can be a little bit more difficult to be feminine when you're more independent and more boss lady-ish, and I have been, over time, becoming more feminine with age. Even just how I am as a homemaker. I feel like now I am officially a homemaker, where I never was a homemaker before because I didn't have a home. The biggest thing that you can take away from creating a vision board is to become more self-aware. Know yourself, know what you want, and know what you're gonna work for. I do believe that if you change your mindset and you change your approach, you will achieve everything on your vision board, and it will be something that feels like a lottery ticket. It's very bizarre, but I feel like because of my vision board, because I write things down, manifest them, the law of attraction just happens naturally. It literally draws in everything you want because you change, your mindset changes, and all of a sudden things just start feeling easier. There was a time in my life where everything felt hard. It felt hard to make money. It felt hard to get up in the morning. It felt hard to work, where now it's like the easiest thing in the world to me. I just feel like my body just flows and goes, and I get rewarded beyond what I feel like I even did. I would love to leave this video off with some of my New Year's resolutions / manifestations / vision board ideas. I definitely want to plan a trip coming 2021, hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be able to travel and do things, and it will just be so much easier. If you have any questions about anything else regarding resolutions, vision boards, or anything of that matter, leave the comments down below and I will answer you guys as soon as possible. I love you guys so much. I hope this helped you, and I will see you guys in my next video. Mwah. Bye, guys.